Halper Hayes, a member of President Trump's transition team, who joins us from our London newsroom. Thanks very much for joining us. And I know you know the President as well. Critics are calling these travel restrictions un-American. We now see the acting Attorney General sacked because she questioned their legality. Do you think they're enforceable?
Yes, they are. So first off, let me give you a little background. The 7 countries came from the Obama administration because in 2011, Obama issued a very similar executive order banning all Iraqi nationals from any visas or entering the United States. So that is where that came from. The reason that those 7 nations were targeted or identified is because they cannot provide any of the vetting information that we need, which answers the unspoken question, why not Saudi Arabia, why not Pakistan? Because those countries are willing to provide information on their citizens or their nationals, which make it very easy for us to be able to issue visas. Now, as far as this acting Attorney General, I would have fired her as well. It is completely constitutional. It is insubordination. And the example I would give you is that if you disagreed with, and I don't mean you personally, but if someone disagreed with what their boss asked them to do in any work situation and publicly came out against it, they wouldn't have their job by the end of the day either.
But she's a legal advisor, isn't she? And she was talking about the legal advice. Just from his point of view, if you don't disagree, that's what happened, is it?
Okay, but wait a minute. You're talking about the legal advice. She served under Obama. Why was Obama allowed and had no conflict on this executive order? But she is.
He didn't, forgive me, but, the 7 countries, there was not a ban on 7 countries under Obama. And let's just talk about that ban. Do you think...
all right. First off, right now there's a moratorium and suspension. Ban makes it colloquial and makes it much bigger and is part of inciting the emotional aspect. Whether it is 7 nations or it is Iraq, the fact of the matter is it is based on the exact same constitutional grounds.
Okay, I don't want to get too much in an argument about one administration to another. Barack Obama saying he disagrees on the notion of discrimination on grounds of race or religion. So just tell us why then people are saying that this is anti-Muslim. Why is it then, for example, when this moratorium is over, the President Trump has said he will give first priority to Christians?
Because Obama gave first priority to Muslims, and he did not. In fact, he refused when there were refugees, when Christians were being killed, he refused to allow them into the United States.
Right. Let's move forward to what President Trump is doing. How does it make America safer? I mean, we of course have critics saying, for example, that recent attacks have not been caused by people from these countries.
Well, the thing is that if we do look at the last 3 attacks, the other aspect of wanting to be able to vet those who have traveled to those nations that are known for either terrorist training or not exactly having favorable views of the United States, we want to identify those people living in America who might have green cards and who might even have American citizenship who are really working against our security efforts.
Let's just talk about President Trump and the sort of international reaction to this. We've seen, for example, people demonstrating across the UK, people talking about this all over the world. Is he the kind of man that will be bothered at all by the international reaction, by the fact that, there are people here in the UK, he's been invited for a visit and people are demonstrating on the streets? Will he be bothered by that?
No, he won't be bothered about it at all. Why should he be bothered about it? First off, he respects free speech, and he's already had, during his whole campaign, during the whole achieving being elected, this is nothing new for him. What is it, 48 hours since it's been enacted? And, the world, the people that don't want him, won't give him a chance, won't even give him the 90 days to figure out if this is working. And he's saying we want to look back so we can go forward properly.
Just very briefly, do you concede it could have been done in a simpler way that wouldn't have caused this kind of reaction?
No, because I think no matter what Trump does, there are going to be people who are going to have knee-jerk reactions that are not going to look at all the facts, that are going to be completely irrational. And you know, I just wish they'd stop so I could have 24 hours to not have to be on the news defending him, and I could get some sleep.
Jan Halper-Hayes, thank you very much for your time here on Breakfast this morning.
Pleasure.
Tough gig at the moment. Here's Carol with a look at the morning's weather.